Last week I gave you the best 5 series to race in iRacing. And this week, out of the 136 series currently available in the game, I'm going to give you my thoughts on the worst 5 series available in the game. Again, this is my opinion, based on the ability to have good clean racing, good competition, and not want to uninstall the game after racing in this series. So 4 of these I'm 100% sure on, and one of them I could be talked into changing, but we'll start. There's no worst, they're all equally rough. So we will go into the countdown. And there's no honourable mentions this week either. The worst 4 here are comfortably the worst 4 in my opinion, and the 5th one deserves to be here as well. So without further ado, let's get into the mayhem. So this is the one that I was debating whether to include or not, but after looking through all the series, I think that F4, the fixed series, this is definitely a contender. Here's Dave Cam, he knows what's what, just hangs back from everyone and waits F4 do F4 things. I think what causes the issues in this series is this is D class, so you run in the Formula Ford and the Formula V in your rookie series. There's no wings, there's no slicks, and you're going a lot slower. So here you've got a lot more speed, a lot more cornering ability, the braking distances are a lot shorter, and generally it leads to turn 1 being like what that was, or lap 1 more likely. So you can have good races in Formula 4 for sure, but it is sometimes quite the war zone, and it can put people off progressing further into the single-seater categories. Overall, this would definitely be the 5th of the 5. The other 4 are all equally avoidable in my opinion, and no doubt there'll be some disagreements in the comments about some of these choices. So on to the next one. This will come as no surprise to people who watched a recent video I did in this series, Draft Masters. It is the oval series with the highest corners per incident. This is a reasonably standard Draft Masters effort. I don't get the excitement with this series. It is to me a lottery. In terms of skill, you only need 1 pedal here, so I'm sure some of you out there will enjoy this series, but for me this is just not fun in any way, shape or form. The inability for people to be able to go in a straight line with competency never fails to blow my mind. So this was the obvious pick for me. Still 3 to go though. So, moving on. This one will be contentious. It is Porsche Cup. Doesn't matter if you're open or fixed. They're both very, very aggressive. Huge amount of turn 1 issues, huge amount of racecraft issues. These clips are all from top split races. So you're looking definitely well past 2,000 strength of fields, sometimes 3, sometimes 4, 5, even 6k fields I have seen be incredibly messy. I know that the car is very popular, a lot of people like the close racing, but to me there's so much of this that I just can't have fun racing like this, where it's highly likely someone's going to try and be a hero from 5 rows back at turn 1, and if we do escape lap 1, something like this is going to happen on future laps, regardless of your iRating level or level of caution that you show. So, yeah, my experience of Porsche Cup is not fun, and just from watching the last season or two of racing in this car, it just, to me, it doesn't look like a good time. So I know there will be plenty of you telling me in the comments, this is a great series, this is a great car, you're just scared of racing. Yeah, probably right to a certain degree. I also like finishing races, and I like good, clean fun with drivers I can trust. And in this series, I think there will definitely be some of those drivers, but I think the majority are what you see going on here. So, on to the next two. What list of worst series would be complete without the midgets? Again, it doesn't matter if you're looking at open or fixed. This series is just an absolute mess, filled with some of the lowest IQs you'll ever see. It seems to attract a very young driver base. A lot that just lack respect. They're always on the microphone with not very nice things to say, and the amount of that sort of driving that goes on. And also, you won't need to do too many races before you see some intent wrecking under yellow. Just these cars should provide some of the best racing on the sim, and yet it's something that most people even on dirt will avoid like the plague, because the level of racecraft and just toxicity of the drivers in general, it's just a horrible time, and it would be great if iRacing did more about that. Lucky last on the list is the trucks, specifically the fixed series. So the issue here with trucks is they're not as powerful as the top two NASCAR series. You have a lot of full throttle time, hardly any off throttle. With fixed races, the race length isn't very long. You've got a couple of extra sets of tyres, so you're always on fresh tyres. Don't need to be off throttle very much. It turns a lot of these 1.5 mile tracks into super speedway tracks. Everyone's desperate to get to the front, and you just see racing like this constantly. Yeah, I did start off with the intent of doing a lot of C fixed races a couple of years ago, and I got wrecked out of pretty much every one I was doing. And we all know how cautious I am, so I'm sure you can get good races, and I do believe that the open set series is good, but the fixed series is just, the laps are too short, the patience is too short, and all too often the racing devolves into just wreckfest with half the laps being under caution. To me, that's not fun. So hence why I recommend the open series on oval where possible, or just longer series in general. The races are this short, and you've got this many tyres to burn through. Yeah, you just get racing like this over and over again. So that was my list of the 5 worst series to drive in on the game if you're looking for good clean racing and good fair competition. I'm sure you have some different thoughts about the series that have been giving you nightmares or making you want to uninstall the game. So let me know your thoughts and tell me where I've gone wrong. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.